Welcome to the Kindness Project, the podcast designed to share stories of kindness and share how kindness can make positive change in our world, one small act at a time.
This time on the Kindness Project, we talk retro themes, my baggy trouser gang, and gun laws.
Hi, and welcome to episode 11 of the Kindness Project.
Whoop, whoop.
I'm joined by Charlotte, who you just heard make a bizarre noise. The only lady I know who's got a gang named after a Madness song.
And that was Chris Dames, a lover of retro theme songs.
Oh, you know what? Let's be honest. And we've said this on the podcast before. Kids' theme tunes in the 80s were better than kids' theme tunes of like the noughties and I don't even know what you call this decade. The 10s? No. But, I mean, we spent some time yesterday with Sophie listening to theme songs that we had to guess. It was on YouTube, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And there wasn't any one song that was better than the Fraggle Rock theme tune, or the theme tune to Rainbow, or He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, or Thundercats.
Yeah, but...
I can go on. Or Funhouse. I mean, Funhouse.
Funhouse.
A whole lot of fun. Prizes to be won. So I don't think, like, when like you and Sophie have a family, I don't think you'll be teaching your kids like sort of noughties and theme tunes. I mean, what's the best you got? Barney?
Barney's not a really good theme song, is it? It's just bingo with different lyrics.
It is true. It's true.
I think some of the shows from now actually have okay theme songs. Like, I think it's all about Steven Universe.
Oh, yeah, you love Steven Universe.
Adventure Time is a good one. It's short and sweet.
Yeah. Yoko Watch.
Yoko Watch is good, yeah. A couple of bits and pieces from like that you see on TV now. Like when I was about Sophie's age, the TV shows theme songs weren't great. The only one I really enjoyed listening to was Wizards of Waverly Place.
I don't even know how that goes. I don't know. However, I tell you what says more about the fact that the music used to be good and maybe slightly better a few years ago, and I like quite a lot of modern music, is you named your little gang of merry brothers after a Madness song. It's not named after an Ariana Grande song, or it's named after possibly the best band ever to come out of North London, Madness.
Yeah. See, what happened was we were on the bus and we were sort of
singing Baggy Trousers.
We were listening to Baggy Trousers, and we were like, "What if we become like a group?"
Yeah.
There was 4 of us there at the time. And
so it started as 4.
Yeah.
But showing your entrepreneurial flair. How many you got in the gang now? It's multi-school, isn't it?
Yeah, there's multiple schools in it. There's loads in our school. Like, there's a lot of year 7s. There's a lot of year 8s.
Can you stop using the podcast to recruit members to your gang?
There's a couple of year 9s. There's a couple of year 10s. And then we've got members in other schools as well.
This is scary. This is building.
And I'm the leader of it all. We've got recruiters. We've got executioners. They don't actually call
executioners.
Self-dubbed.
What kind of gang is this? I mean, I'm getting scared. Am I going to get a call from the school saying your daughter is the head of a criminal organisation that has multi-school reach?
No, we're just kind of
executioners.
Self-dubbed. And we kind of just take in the people who kind of most people don't deem as people who want to be part of their group. So we're all kind of one giant group.
You know what? I mean, certainly when I was at school, I wasn't one of the
popular kids.
Kids.
I'm not.
But actually, there's more of us in-betweeners, and there's more of us kids who...
That's basically what we are.
Yeah.
Because the popular kids, they all kind of...
You could have called it the in-betweeners, actually.
No, with the baggy trousers.
Oh, the baggy trousers, right.
And the popular kids, they all kind of group together, and they all kind of keep to their own world, but they spew each other's secrets out like a volcano.
Right, okay.
But
a volcano of secrets. That's a good start for a book. Write that down. Volcano of secrets. Harry Potter and the Volcano of secrets.
And with us in between, we're kind of like I have a lot of friends in year 7 because of the baggy trousers, but also apart from the baggy trousers, like I do a drama club. I talked about it the other day with the boys skidding, and all the year 7 girls. I like to have a little mothers meeting with them.
Cool.
And
just to be clear, there's no actual mothers in that meeting, is there? You're all too young.
We're all too young, and we all kind of just gossip about stuff that we did that day.
Cool.
So some of them even started calling me mum at one point because I kept telling them to be safe on the way home because obviously we got out later than usual and it was middle of winter.
You wanted to make sure
I wanted to make sure they were safe.
They were careful.
And they were like, careful across the road, make sure you stay together, and if you can't stay together, keep the light on your phone on.
Well, certainly that shows what kind of girl you are. However, let's get one thing clear. You're not very good at pronouncing H's, are you? So, on that note, would you like to share with everybody how they can get in touch with us?
Hola kindness! Sounds like hella kindness.
Actually, Charlotte pronounced the H that time. Normally she goes like this. Hola kindness.
You need to go hola kindness, yeah.
But this...
All about the kindness, guys.
Oh, God. What a pun. So you can get in touch with us on Twitter at HOLA kindness. Hola kindness. You can get in touch with us via email at hola@thekindnessproject.co.uk and we've got a Facebook group and we've got a website. I can't work out the best way to get in the Facebook group.
Probably from the website.
Absolutely from the website. So you can get in touch with us at www.thekindnessproject.co.uk and you can use it to answer this week's
question of the podcast.
I don't know what that was.
No,
I genuinely don't know what that was. That was like half. I don't know.
X Factor man, half Charlotte on drugs.
Yeah, possibly. However, this week's question of the podcast, and we know your answer already, Charlotte. But if you had a gang, if you had your own little gang, whether you're 14, 40, 80, 50, 12, 4 or 7, what would you call it? So what would you call, or what do you call your little collection of friends if you've got a name? So share your stories on that. That would be awesome. But don't forget, we've got outstanding podcast questions going weeks back now. We've got loads of them. We've got the philosophical ones. Are most people generally good? We've got aspirational ones. What country is at the top of your must-visit list? We've got amusing ones. Your favourite piece of trivia. And we've got the deep, dark, important questions of life that we're trying to cover.
Can I do this one?
Go on.
What is your favourite egg dish?
Absolutely. If we can answer that one, that would be incredibly good.
I mean, maybe you guys can educate us on some egg dishes that we don't even know about that we can try.
Now that'd be a good move. If you've got egg dishes out there that
we didn't mention in that particular podcast.
Yeah, that was in podcast 2, wasn't it? So it was ages ago, wasn't it? So you probably need to go back to that podcast to listen to the ones we talked about. But certainly, if we can get a egg dish that we can try, that would be awesome. But let's not forget, this is the Kindness Project. So we do want to hear your stories of kindness, who you think is really awesome at being kind, and anything kindness related, kindness news, anything kindness related. We want you to share those stories. But also, we've got the unofficial podcast topics that we always talk about.
Yeah, we always kind of get sidetracked.
So we've got a bit of pigs in blankets. We've got our Nick Cage thing that we always seem to talk about. Anything else?
I don't know. Maybe if you guys can give us your opinions for this week's one, give us your opinions of the best child's theme song.
Yeah, absolutely. So what is unofficial podcast question of the week? What is the best kids TV theme tune? And perhaps you'll settle the debate between Charlotte and I about the best era. You know, is it modern kids TV theme tunes or 80s kids TV
I think it's
theme
80s.
tunes? And if you're slightly older than both Charlotte and I, are we missing a trick? And there's some really good 50s, 60s and 70s kids TV themes that we're not... What was you going to say? That long ago. They had TV back then, Charlotte.
I know they did, but like, did they make such great themes as the ones we're listening to
Well,
now?
you know what? I think, you know what you were talking about before about your little bubble? Yeah. I think when it comes to the specific subject of kids' TV themes, let's get out of our bubble and venture into the past.
Go for a runabout.
Go. Oh, Runaround. Have you ever seen Runaround?
No.
I'm not sure the TV theme was that good, but as a show, It was awesome. Run around.
See, I've got an idea of trapdoor. I've heard the theme song so many times. Don't you open that trapdoor.
Awesome.
You're a fool if you dare. But I've actually never seen a full episode of Trapdoor.
There's loads on YouTube.
I know.
There's loads on YouTube. So
But I've never seen a full episode of Trapdoor, but I would love to watch a full episode of Trapdoor because some of the characters are really cool.
Okay, cool. Well, you can do that on YouTube. But in the meantime, shall we get on with the show?
Yes. Welcome to week 11 of Kindness News.
We're not getting rid of the jingle, are we? The jingle is staying. I like it.
Okay, so you have a kindness news story for us.
Yeah, so we've been around the world on kindness news. We've been to America, Canada, mainly America and Canada,
Yeah.
and a couple about London. But I'm going to take you somewhere new this week, Charlotte.
Woo!
Romford. No, we're not going to Romford yet.
We're going to go see a movie, are we, Dad?
We're not going to Romford yet. I'm going to take you to the island of Malta.
Oh.
Because apparently the Maltese are among the top 3.
Like Malteser?
No, not the Maltese are. The Maltese are among the top 3 donating nations in the world. There's a global index that ranks the most charitable, the most giving countries, and Malta's among the top 3. But you're asking, who is number 1 and who is number 2? And the answer to that is Myanmar, the island of Myanmar, and then Indonesia. So I don't know what makes those particular places more giving than somewhere like America, Canada, or the UK.
Like the small islands, they see.
Do you reckon they got a better sense of community? Yeah, maybe you're right.
They see the value of it more.
So there's a special index called the Charities Aid Foundation Index, which takes data from about 140 countries across the world.
Yeah.
And Malta did really well this year. So I don't know whether part of that charitable donation was in chocolate. So I don't know if they gave away loads of Maltesers, but
just give away our people, guys.
But really interestingly, every other Western country had a score that went down. So Malta, New Zealand, the US, Australia, Canada, Ireland, the Dutch, UK, Iceland, Germany, and Norway had a decrease of their charitable score between 1 and 5 percentage points in the last year. And that, interestingly, says something potentially about how we give in the UK. What do you think's changed in recent years?
Red Nose Day is not working anymore.
Maybe we need a bit more focus on how we kind. But obviously, charity isn't the only way we can be kind to people,
and
but
also
it is one of the ways.
People are carrying less change.
You know
people
what?
are using cards for everything now.
Yeah.
So when you walk past someone with a donation bucket, you can't just drop £1 in because you've just got a card in your pocket.
You know what? I've been there. I've sort of rifled around my pockets for loose change.
And you haven't got
found
any
that I haven't got any because I don't carry cash. So.
I do all the time.
So would it be easier if charities? Do you reckon sort of charitable fundraising would go up if people had card readers?
Yeah, and it just took like 50p or something.
Yeah. So there was a fixed cost. You put the card reader on. Took £1.50 or £2
yeah,
quid
it's
or
like
whatever.
contactless and you just beeped it.
I mean, 50p is a bit stingy to be honest, but
yeah, but like
you could choose. Yeah.
Yeah, you can choose.
Yeah. So the news of the week is Malta, bizarrely, is one of the most charitable countries in the world. And that's my story of the week. So, Charlotte, I know this podcast is all about happiness and kindness, but there's something that's been playing on my mind that I just want to talk about, and that's guns.
Go on then.
So, as we sit today, it's been a few weeks since the shootings in America and at school in America, and I'm trying to get my head around why America doesn't just change their gun laws to protect people. And get that in America it's different. I get that as part of the laws that govern America have governed America for hundreds of years, the Second Amendment's really important to Americans because of the fact that there's a concern that without guns they won't be able to protect themselves from uprising or government or whatever it may be. But when there's children dying in schools and there's a risk and a threat to innocent kids because there's too many guns on the streets, surely that's the time when guns have got to go.
Yeah.
And it's not the first time. This recent school shooting's not the first time. It happens time and time and time again. You know what? It's really interesting because there's loads of arguments for and against guns.
Yeah.
But all of the ones that are for are, in my opinion, completely counterbalanced with that loss of life. Because, you turn around and go, yeah, you can't take away our guns because in America, the Second Amendment says that we can keep them. Fine. Okay. I tell you what, why don't you own a gun that existed when the Second Amendment was written? Then you'll have a musket and you actually won't be able to go into a school and shoot up 18 kids. How about that?
Yeah,
I mean, that makes more sense to me. If you had a musket, somebody would jump on you before you could actually kill so many people.
Yeah.
But they don't. They go in with a machine gun and kill innocent people. This subject just makes me really angry because I don't get the logic of it. What do you think?
I think if you wanted to defend yourself, you wouldn't need enough bullets to kill 14 kids?
Yep.
You wouldn't need that many bullets. If you wanted to defend yourself, you shoot the guy in the leg, that's one bullet. One bullet, and that's all you need. So maybe, put some kind of law in that says, you're only allowed to, have 2 bullets in your gun or something.
Yeah, but the problem is with that is people would bend those rules, wouldn't they? So I suppose a ban on bullets might be one solution, but how about just a ban on really dangerous guns? I mean, this is what I don't get, right? This is what I don't get. When the Second Amendment was written, guns were dangerous, but didn't have the potential to kill as many people in as much time. Now you've got these weapons that can kill indiscriminately and shoot so many bullets over a period of time. So that one argument, it's my Second Amendment rights. Okay, fine. Just let's create a law that says you're allowed a gun, but you're allowed one that takes 10 minutes to load, or one that's a musket.
Or one that only contains,
2 bullets. You can only put 2 bullets in it. Second argument is it's part of the American economy because actually guns are big business in America, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay, I get that. I get that. The bit that really, really irks me is, capitalism isn't the worst thing in the world. People got to make stuff and buy stuff and sell stuff. And even though it's not a perfect political framework to live, it's the best we've got. We know that
nothing's perfect.
Nothing's perfect, yeah.
Just because capitalism isn't perfect doesn't mean communism is.
Exactly, or socialism or any other.
We haven't been able to create a perfect socialist.
Well, there have been socialist governments. I mean, you could argue that Cuba was quite a socialist state, but yeah. So, okay, let's examine that argument. I believe that guns are the exception to that capitalist rule and should be really heavily regulated, not a free and open market. Why? Because guns are a product designed to do one thing. They're designed to kill people.
Yeah.
And whereas any other products out there, or most other products out there, are designed to help, aid, assist, support, deliver something beneficial to your life, the only thing you can do with a gun is damage something. And that might be a human, that might be an animal, that might be that might be a can. The only thing that product does is damage. So surely we need to, because of the fact that the only thing that product does is damage stuff, we need to make sure that it's massively heavily regulated, so that doesn't happen. And the thing that confuses me about this debate is other countries have been really heavy in terms of regulation and have found massive drops in gun crime. Happened in Australia, happened in the UK, happened all over the world. So why are the states not doing it?
I don't know. I mean, look, you know, in America, they have to pay for their medical.
Yeah.
Okay, so owning a gun, isn't it like in the UK, if you carry a knife around, you're more likely to get hurt with that knife than
Exactly. Well,
the attacker. So if you own a gun, isn't it the same kind of logic?
But this is what I can't understand, right? I can't understand the politician's argument to say, oh, the solution to a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. Absolutely not true. It's been proven time and time again it doesn't work. And if you have a direct correlation, thank you, a direct correlation to what's happening in the UK with knife crime, as you said, if you carry a knife, you are more likely to be stabbed either with that knife or with another knife than if you don't carry a knife. So carrying a weapon doesn't protect you; it puts you at more threat. And this is what I don't get. I'll tell you what I think the problem is in America: lobbying. So the NRA, who are the organisation that represents gun companies and potentially gun owners, I think they may have a subscription model. Have got piles of cash that they give to politicians. And I don't know whether you saw, it was going around the internet, there was a boy in Florida where the shooting happened who stood up and said to Marco Rubio, who's one of their politicians, look, I know it's a complicated debate. I know there's there's action that we can take. The first thing you can do is give all the money back that the NRA have given you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what he said to that, which was the most crazy thing in the world in my eyes. The NRA buys into my agenda, I don't buy into theirs. So hold on, let's say a drug dealer, somebody selling crack cocaine outside schools, said, I tell you what, have £1 million. Would Marco Rubio go, cheers, mate, I'll have that. You're buying into my agenda, I'm not buying into yours.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
I mean, it's not a logical argument, is it?
No, it's not.
However, with all of that going on, I tell you what I've been inspired by, the kids. I've been inspired by the kids who are making waves and telling their stories and making sure that their feelings are really heard. And actually, when you're a politician and you've got to stand up in front of those kids and give your excuses to a young boy whose mate's just been shot, or to a dad whose daughter's just died, that more people who have been involved in this stuff should be standing up and saying their piece. And I really do hope that something happens this time.
Honestly, it's not just the people who get hurt that get affected, because there are other people who get hurt just in different ways.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Like, if, say, a little boy got shot, his parents, his family, his friends, they'd all be hurt. Yeah. But then more than that, like his teachers, the school that he's in, because, you know what, it's not that teachers, they do care about their students. Like, no matter what anybody says, teachers do care about their students, because, you know what, they're kind of like, they have to protect them, they have to raise, they have to
What do you think your teacher would say if somebody came in and said, right, we're going to arm every single one of you? I mean, I think part of the problem is that we don't get it. Part of the problem is we've never lived in a culture where guns are prevalent. So maybe it's us. But if you've got people from that community that have been impacted by guns and lives ended when they're teenagers, we know that it shouldn't be going on, right?
Yeah,
and they're saying it, and people around the world are saying it. I just truly hope politicians in America listen and change gun laws.
Yeah.
So on that cheerful note, and apologies this week, listeners, because it was on my mind. I just wanted a bit of a rant about how I felt about it, but hopefully the law will change and we'll see less innocent kids dying in American schools.
Another podcast.
Why is Mummy waving her hands like that?
She's showing that she's not talking anymore.
Oh, she's not. She doesn't want to get involved in the podcast, apart from as a mime in the background, just doing some work. So yeah, she's just watching us podcast.
But you know what it's time for now?
What's in time for now?
Last week's question of the podcast.
Did that jacket just dip in my coffee? Oh,
Last
blimey.
week's question of the podcast this week, last week, this week.
Okay, and what was last week's question of the podcast last week, this week, last week?
Words we want to remove from the English dictionary.
I want to remove that jacket from my coffee, otherwise I can't try it anymore. Blimey. So what do you think those words were? What do you think people picked as the words they want to remove?
You said no swear words, yeah?
I said no swear words. Apart from swear
Hypochondria.
words.
Just I feel like complicated words people would want to get rid of.
So you reckon that people would have opted for complex words,
Yep.
not just simple words that they'd like they just don't like, no?
Oh, I have a friend who doesn't like the word squish.
Squish
Or moist.
is
Makes him feel really uncomfortable.
Oh, you know what? Mum's looking at us going, oh, not that word, moist. That's horrible. But we had, Twitter went wild with this question. I had 15 comments. Is that wild? Or is that... It's not...
For you, very
it's
wild.
It's not Donald Trump wild, but or Lady Gaga wild.
Donald
but
Trump
it's
gets
wild.
like 20,000 retweets just being outrageous.
It's wild for me. So here's our responses, and let me know whether you agree or disagree as we go through. You ready? So we're going to do Twitter first. Philippa G said, etc. I absolutely loathe it. It's a word for lazy people.
Or
What do you
crazy
think?
people. You know when crazy people they just in TV shows and they just go etc. etc.
So do we agree that we should ban the word etc. from the English dictionary? Because you could explain what etc. means, couldn't you?
Yeah.
So I'm banning it from my English dictionary. Etc's going. How about you?
I never use it anyway.
Okay. But would you ban it or not?
No, because there'd be certain occasions where it'd be useful.
Okay, what occasion might it be useful?
When you've got a list of when you're just trying to explain something generally, like you just go, like you get a happy feeling when this happens or this happens, and etc. and etc.
No, I'm with Philippa on this one. I think that etc. If you're going to say etc., just tell me what you mean by etc. Mrs. Stoves, Bev Stoves, said furthermore to your particular point. What do you think of that?
I like that word. I mean, I never use it, but I like it. It
wouldn't-
sounds very posh and sophisticated.
So I'd ban etc. I wouldn't ban furthermore. Sorry, Bev. And something that you're guilty of using, and actually you've used about 12 times since we started the podcast, is
Sorry.
like.
I totally know what you're talking about.
Do you totally know what I'm talking about?
I totally know what you're talking about.
So the next one is from William Goodchild, who said, so epic. And the word so. So what?
That is absolutely awesome.
Would you ban the word so?
No.
Would you ban the word like? No, because you use it quite a lot, don't you? Like,
I like-
all the time.
I totally know what you're talking about.
Okay. Alex Shaw said, fine, especially when used by ladies when asking for their opinion on something.
I'm
A
guilty of
gent
this.
has done, said, purchased. It's like a dagger through the heart. The word is generally the antithesis of its alleged meaning in this scenario.
Oh my god,
I
I
think what Alex
what's the
means. I think what Alex means is I come home and I go to Mummy's looking at me like I've done something really wrong, and I go, "How you doing?" And she goes, "Fine." And I know she don't mean
you can
fine.
accuse me of doing that as well.
You do that as well. Yeah, you do that as well.
People ask me what's wrong because I'm really tired.
I'm like so tired.
I look like a zombie or something, and I just go fine. I'm fine.
Della Hudson had a comment. She said, "I'd ban the word nice." See, I like the word nice,
Yeah.
but the context that Della means is when people go, "Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That annoys me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. Are you even listening to me? Oh, that's nice."
Yeah, some guy got his head ripped off. Oh, that's nice.
Andrew Wibberley wants to ban half of the language that you use because he wants to get rid of like as well. So like is becoming a popular word to get banned.
Well, then I won't like your comment then.
Like, I actually tweeted him back and went, "I like this idea." He hasn't responded, so I don't know what he thought about that. Ewan McGregor said, not the actor Ewan McGregor, it's actually the lawyer Ewan McGregor. So which is almost as good. Ewan McGregor came back and said, prioritise or the use of re on top of letters or people using best at the end of emails. So half the English dictionary he wants to get rid of.
I don't use best. Even when I write letters, I always use yours sincerely.
Yeah, you know
Or
what?
sincerely me or something like that.
You know what? I think kind regards is better at the end of an email. What do you think?
Sincerely me or yours sincerely.
Sincerely me?
Uh-huh.
I've never heard of that one. Sincerely me. What?
It's just because you've already got the email name at the top of the email.
What do you start an email with?
Two. And then a dash.
Not hi.
No.
We've got an intern working in the office at the minute, and he sent me a template for an email. He's an Indian guy, and he sent me this email that just started, "Dearest salutations, Steve." I was like, "What are you doing? Just say hi. Just say hi."
I just do 2/.
Two slash. I am tempted just on one email, and I don't know who I'm going to send it to yet. Just starting it. "What's up, dog?" Do you reckon that'll go down all right?
Me or Russell would be a best one to send that to.
Or Mum, "What's up, dog?" I'll
She'd be
get
highly
dirty
offended.
looks now. I'll get dirty looks. London Money, Martin from London Money said, "I'd ban the word podcast." So he's obviously a regular listener.
Have you never seen those posts where it's like, oh, this person's listening to this band, this person's listening to this band, and this person is listening to a bloody podcast?
I've not heard that. No, podcasts are cool though. You
know.
like a podcast as well,
Yeah.
don't you? We'll do. What's your favourite podcast apart from this podcast as a future question of the week? And then Chris Budd said, and I really like this. Now, Chris, so Sophie's now coming from school whilst. Coming from after school club and has joined us. So let's ask you a question, Sophie. What word, if you could ban one word from, sorry everybody, listeners, this is Sophie. She's my other daughter and she's 6. But what word would you ban from the English language?
It's going to be a rude one, of course.
No, not a rude word. Apart from a rude word, I don't want you to say rude words on the podcast. Apart from a rude word, what word would you ban? Do you want to have a little think about it while we talk about the others? Yeah. So the other ones that people suggested were Chris Budd, who had a great suggestion about the ancient era the last podcast. He wanted to go back to the 60s, and I think you wanted to steal his shirt or something, Charlotte, didn't you? You wanted to.
I think that was him. I wanted his floral shirt.
You wanted to steal his flower power shirt. Made a statement that I absolutely agree with. I'd like to get rid of the word hate. It's such a harsh word, allows no discussion or thought, just a flat final statement. Would you get rid of the word hate, Sophie? Would you?
Yeah.
How about you, Charlotte?
Yeah, I think you can use phrases like, I dislike this person, like, for certain reasons. Like, you got to have a reason for not liking someone. You can't just go, hi, and you obviously hate them now.
Okay. So, do you want to read the next one, Soph? So, what word would this man get rid of? Tell me his name and tell me what word he'd get rid of.
Mark Smith.
Mark Smith, yeah, would get rid of the word...
This one. Oh.
Correction.
He'd get rid of the word correction. I quite like the word correction.
I know,
actually.
but like, I dread the word correction. Just
Why?
like the teacher goes, "Here, have your corrections back," and I've got loads of red pen, like spelling mistakes, grammar mistakes, like use more varied punctuation. Like
Punctuation.
David Penny just kept it simple. Spurs. He don't like Spurs. He'd just get rid of the word Spurs. I'm not sure he means the word or the team. But he
team.
might mean both. Aaron Cunningham said, however, it's always the bridge between good news and bad news. And I actually, you can read the next one, darling. And I actually use however quite a lot. But
it doesn't have to be a bridge between good and bad news.
it doesn't need to, but it is often a bridge between good and bad news. So I wouldn't get rid of it, Aaron, because I use it too much. But
it was snowing due to the cold. However, I didn't feel that cold.
yeah, it's going to snow a week, is it?
Supposed to.
All week.
Oh, good stuff. Right, so David Penny had another suggestion.
Boris.
Should we get rid of the word Boris? I think he means Boris Johnson, doesn't he? But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And then Chris Budd's come back again and said, is Brexit too obvious? We had more Brexits as the banned word than anything else. What does that say about the state of the political conversation at the minute, Charlotte?
We're going to hell.
In a handbasket. You can read the next one. So Greg Kingston would ban the word
Blame.
blame. Would you ban it? I don't like the word blame. Do you?
No. I would ban it.
You'd ban it?
Did you say bam it?
Why would you ban it? Would you punch it in the nose?
Bam!
Okay. So, and London Money said, Martin's back with another suggestion. London Money said,
Brexit, or is that swear word?
well, it's not a swear word, is it? So we can say it. But would you ban the word Brexit or not?
Yeah. I'm kind of tired of hearing it in the news.
Yeah, so am I. So, we had a number of... So that was our Twitter suggestions. We also had a bunch of suggestions from Facebook as well. David Crozier said, I'd ban the word actually. Actually, I don't know if I would ban that word because I use it quite a lot.
Actually, you said.
Aisha would ban the word sorry.
No.
Would you ban the word sorry?
No.
How about you, Charlotte?
There's other ways to do it. You buy flowers, you go, I apologise.
Yeah, I still like the simplicity of the word sorry. Misha
Soz,
Hoskin.
mate.
Soz, mate. Like so soz.
Snozcumbers.
Snoz. Now, I wouldn't like to taste a snozcumber, but a snozcumber wouldn't be a word that I'd ban.
A snozcumber.
Michelle Hoskin said I'd ban the word comfortable. I think
I'm feeling overly comfortable. What kind of word is that? I used the word uncomfortable in my creative writing the other day, but that's just because my character was laying on the beach.
yeah. I actually like
I'm
the.
just lying on the beach.
I
am just lying on the
Fabulous.
What was that face? Was that the face of a boy laying on a beach? So I like the word comfortable in some respects, but the
I love
problem
the word comfortable.
you wouldn't get rid of the word comfortable. But the problem is that if you get too comfortable, you then don't take enough action in life.
No,
do you?
this is.
So
He put an exclamation mark. This is what I'd say. Comfortable.
I've never heard somebody do that. How you
sound
feeling?
like-
Comfortable.
Overly comfortable. Woo!
Matty Walton would ban the word chillax.
Oh, I love chillax.
Well, that's my song.
You'd keep chillax, would you say? Okay, and then
Bankers.
Paul Schaefer just went bankers. Ian Hyton said again Brexit, and Mikey Fitzgerald, who's now a regular contributor, said he'd ban the word ferry, and actually his validation is quite powerful. So he said, ferry, it's the worst word in the English language. You aren't very hungry, you're famished. And you aren't very upset, you're incensed. So you're in a position where there's always a word that describes very something, so why not use that word? Alan Dickinson Quelch, which is a bit of an awesome name, actually.
Like for example, it is my birthday today.
No, it is like my birthday today.
It's like totally my birthday.
It's like my birthday. And then Mike has come back and went, like told to May's balls. And then Ian Hyton's come back, said, I hope you got the intonation right. That drives me mad. So the most votes.
It drives me mad, baby.
The most vote, I don't know what that was about, but the most votes are currently for Brexit and like.
It drives me mad.
Chris Laney said she'd ban the word can't. I think I'd agree.
That is totally against the can-do attitude.
Kelly would ban the word marmite, and I think 50% of people will agree with her and 50% won't. Tamsin Kane said nice. She'd ban the word nice.
No, don't do that.
Okay. And then Justin Gaffney said, sorry, he posted something in Facebook and then had to delete it because it was swearing. And then said, my non-swear word would be however. He'd get rid of the word however as well. So there's a general consensus. There's certain words that most people would get rid of, and typically they're Brexit, like, and however.
I'm going to let the dog.
Thanks for that information on the podcast, so they don't know the dog's around, do they? However, we do finish off today with one story of kindness, and it's actually good you're here. So this story of kindness was written by who, Sophie?
Nanny.
Nanny. So Nanny's getting involved in the podcast too.
Yay!
So do you want to read out that story of kindness?
Friend's twin, 30,
A friend's twin 13-year-old daughters were shopping in Dundee for new clothes and saw a homeless man sitting in a doorway trying to keep warm and dry. They went and bought him a nice hot cup of tea and a large sandwich and a cake. These girls have had so much health issues of their own, but are very quick to think of others who are less fortunate.
So what do you think of that then?
less fortunate! It says.
I know it says less fortunate. What do you think of that story? So two girls. Is it a perfect story?
Did someone try to ban perfect?
Sorry? Nobody tried to ban the word perfect.
Who would want to?
I don't know. I don't think that'd be a good idea.
It is epic for like comebacks, you know, because like if someone goes, you're nobody, you can go, well, nobody's perfect, so I'm perfect.
Oh, nice. But what do you think of the story about the two 13-year-old girls?
I think it's good, yeah.
What do you think, Soph?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. You like that story? Awesome. So that is it. And you got some extra helping of dames on this podcast because Sophie joined us as well. So from Charlotte, do you want to say bye to our listeners?
Bye.
From Sophie, do you want to say bye?
Bye! I'm a monster.
Bit extreme.
And from bit over the top. And from me, Chris Dames, we'll see you next time.
Bye.